If you're afraid of technology and that's why you're not making the jump, don't be afraid. There's an awesome team that'll help you out every step of the way. Even if you don't ask for it, they will call you and make sure that you're on the right track.
Hi everyone, it's Nina from Local Line, and today I'm here with Sarah from Black Barn Farms. She's going to tell us a bit more about her experience with Local Line. Hey Sarah, great to have you.
Hey, we bought our property in 2017 and it only had a pole barn on it, which we immediately turned into a house. So we really started with nothing. 2018, we got 6 pigs. That's what we started with. So we sell forest raised pork. We sell grass-fed, grass-finished beef. We also recently installed our own hydroponic system so we can grow our own fodder. So all of our animals are finished on that as well. It's always been my husband Phil's dream to go into farming. He really loves the animals. We adopted the regenerative agriculture farming practices because he grew up on a beef farm. His dad is a traditional farmer, so lots of tilling, tractor use, haying, all the stuff that Phil hates. That's the hard work when it comes to farming and the stuff that stresses farmers out the most, I find, because it's just, you have to just do it when the weather's nice, and that's not always the case, right? So he stumbled onto regenerative agriculture and was like, wow, I don't have to do this stuff. I can just have the animals. There's a different way to feed them and keep them healthy. And it turns out it's an even better way now that the science is backing it.
My favorite question to always ask is, what's the story behind your farm name?
Oh, geez. So when I was in high school, and even now, I've always loved black. Like that's generally what I wear, is just all black. So I think it was just kind of a funny thing because Phil wanted to get into farming. I was in the beginning, I was like, no, thanks. This is your thing. I don't like animals, hated the smell. I was like, I want nothing to do with farming. So I think that was his way of kind of like reeling me in a little bit and letting him go ahead with the farm. Was like, okay, we're going to have a black barn though.
So there is a black barn on the farm.
There is a black barn. Yeah. Everything is pretty much black. So I started just putting our name out there like most farmers do. They're like, hey, Facebook, we sell bulk beef, we sell bulk pork. Or like for us, we also do the retail cuts. So we're like, hey, this is what we have available right now. And people would just call or text us, and then we'd have to get everything ready and whatnot. So once we switched to Local Line, it's become so much easier. Hey, we have an online store, and immediately people are like, oh my gosh, this is like, you must be successful. So they're drawn to that, right? They're like, oh, they have online stuff. They're so modern. Like, and that's where Local Line's been really good because, oh man, it made my life so much easier just having the inventory in one place and all the prices are up there for people to see. And then the same thing, they're like, oh, we know we've heard you sell ground beef from my neighbor. And we used to get calls and that's all they'd order. But now I redirect them to the online store and they can see everything we have. And they're like, oh man, I'm going to get some pork chops too. Oh, throw in a hoodie. It's kind of nice that way. So yeah, the retail, it's gotten a lot more streamlined. We just have to get a few more products in the freezer and then we'll be good for the whole year.
Speaking of Local Line, how did you guys hear about us?
I listened to My Digital Farmer podcast with Corinna Bench. So that was the first time I heard about it. I was like, I don't know, you hear it a couple times and you're like, no, that's not for us. Like we're doing fine. I can just put in the work, right? And then so that's where we heard about it. And I mentioned it to Phil and he's like, oh, that's cool for the future. Yeah, maybe once we're bigger kind of thing. And one day I was doing like the bills and everything and feeling super overwhelmed. I'm like, we're not making enough. Like we need to cut back. And he's like, we can't cut back any more expenses. Like there's just certain things you have to pay for when you're farming. So, I was like looking at all the credit card statements and like, oh, we don't need this and we don't need this. And he's like, why don't you just sign up for the online store? He's like, we have to make sales. That's how you make money. It's not cutting back. So he's good that way where he's like, no, let's just do something more to get the word out that we have products. And yeah, so that's when I was like, okay, I'm going with what Corinna said because she's awesome. And I'm like, okay, we'll do Local Line. And yeah, you guys were working in Canada too. And I'm like, okay, perfect. It was super scary. Honestly, my heart was like, ooh, and I was like, okay, got it. bye. Like I said, you don't want to put out more money. Like when you're already feeling strapped that
Of
you're
course.
not making enough and your bills are really high, it's like, oh, why would I put out this extra money for a subscription to an online platform? And like you say, you're like, will people use it? But it's been fantastic. Like it paid for itself within the first month. It was good. And then of course it's so easy for people, right? Like everybody's online nowadays, especially since the pandemic. Everybody's like used to buying things online. And it's just they can be on their couch in their pajamas. They don't have to travel anywhere or find our farm way out in the country. It's just like, oh, click, click, click. Yeah, easy like everything else, right?
Could you walk me through maybe an order cycle for your retail cuts on Local Line?
People will put it in order. They'll put per item, which is nice because it tracks right away. They're like, no, I want 5 packs of ground beef. I get to change the poundage to make it suit that. So it automatically counts everything for me, which is nice. And it's super easy because I used to get people who would do either or. They're like, I want 5 packs, but I want, or someone else would ask for pounds. And it's like, okay, the packs are so much easier to just grab 5, put them on the scale and get the poundage, right? They'll do that. They'll put it in their cart. I have all of the stuff that you have to weigh out. It needs to be approved by me first before they can put in their credit card payment or anything like that. So I'll see their order, put their packages together, and then I'll just make the adjustments on the order page if the poundage was a little bit different, and then approve it, hit ready for pickup. We have everybody come out here to pick it up. Yeah, I generally don't do deliveries unless like close friends and I'm going to see them anyway. There's little areas where you can put notes. So I put a note, text me before you're coming to make sure I'm home so I can meet you and give it to you. So they always know to, get a hold of us first in order to come and get it. Or they reply to their confirmation email from Local Line, which is really nice because it's just like super quick and they don't have to read all the little notes and stuff. They just reply and they're like, when can I come?
Yeah.
So that's really nice too. We're also part of a hub. So there is a local food co-op in the area that just started up. And they ended up going through Local Line too. And they looked at a few different online platforms and they just said Local Line was the easiest. So yeah, we go through them as well, which is awesome because I had all my products up there already. I hooked it up to the hub and automatically the inventory is tracked over there as well as people buy through them. So that's the only time that we really deliver to town is every Thursday. I'll go in with everybody's orders and just hand it over all labeled and already weighed out. And it's awesome. The ease of use, like I really try and promote convenience for customers because I don't see a lot of people going to the farmers markets around here. It's not really a big thing. Like I was saying before, people can be on their couch, shopping whenever they want, or they'll stumble upon us on Facebook, go to the website and it links to the Local Line store so they can kind of look right away. So yeah, the convenience for the customer is nice, especially if you can get linked up to a hub like that where they don't have to go anywhere ever. Yeah. And the inventory tracking for me has just made my life so much easier because I don't have to worry about it at all. All my records are in one place. I can just look at the end of the year at tax season and it's like all of my income is there laid out. I just hand it over to the tax lady. There's a lot less for me to do, which is fantastic.
Yeah, that's huge, right? Getting your time back from all those tedious counting here, this app, that.
Yeah, exactly. It's all in one place. It's just, convenient for us as the farmers, but also convenient for the customer in the sense that, again, it's all right in one place. If you promote it, like we put on social media, hey, big news, we have an online store. People automatically click the link and go there, right? Or on our website, anytime I'm talking about beef or bulk buying or, oh, we got these new hoodies in, or, anything like that, I'll always put a link, even if it's a blog post, I'll link to the product in the store. So people can right away go there and look through and do their thing on the store. So there's always, you just have to promote it. You just have to put little Easter eggs where, they can be like, oh, I'm interested in whatever, tenderloin, click. And then it'll send them right to the product page. Just do it. Yeah, you're going to feel all these emotions because it's new too. And of course, a lot of farmers are still doing things the old way, like cash at pickup, which is fine. Like we do that too. But a lot of times technology is scary because it's new. but it's so easy once you get used to it. Okay. And also I'm type A, so I like looked heavily into how to use Local Line before I signed up to make sure, okay, my head's wrapped around it. I can do this. So the first day, like I said, I put all my products in and everything. And the next day I got a phone call from one of your people and they were like, hey, just calling to see if you need help. I saw you signed up. And I was like, oh, okay. So I shouldn't have been this freaked out. Like you guys are always there to help, which is awesome. And like so accessible to us. You know, if there's something, I'll be like, oh, I don't know. Is it possible to do such and such on Local Line? And I noticed they'd be like, oh, no, sorry. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I was just, it'd make my life easier. The next month I'll get an email saying like, oh, we fixed this and added this. So it's fantastic. So if you're afraid of technology and that's why you're not making the jump, don't be afraid. There's a awesome team that'll help you out every step of the way. Even if you don't ask for it, they will call you and make sure that you're on the right track. Yeah. And if it's the money thing, like as far as the subscription of buying an online platform, it'll pay for itself. It will. Yeah. So yeah, just do it. That's my advice.